The other day, I ran over a squirrel on accident. I was driving along off to my grandfather's house, and I just turned off the road to the neighborhood that he lives in. I took my eyes away from the road for just a split second to turn the air conditioning down, and right as I did, a squirrel ran out in front of me. I tried to hit the brakes, the car locked up. I wasn't sure if I had avoided it or not. And as I pulled forward, I looked behind, I saw it was in the road. I immediately felt sick to my stomach. I pulled over. My grandfather's house was just up the street. I pulled over and I sat there for a second and thought, gosh, what if it's not dead? What if it's lying in the road suffering? And I immediately thought back to this moment when I was a kid, maybe 9-10 years old, when we were driving home from, I don't know if it was from school or from what it was. And where I grew up, there was we were kind of off in the middle of nowhere, and the road back to my house was a long road away from the main road. And there was utility trucks that would use that road. I don't know who, but someone had ran over a squirrel at that time. The only difference with this one is that when my mom and I were going in, it was clear it wasn't dead, but it was squished. What should have been inside was outside. At 9-10 years old, I knew that no living thing deserved to suffer, and I didn't want it to suffer. So I went home, and there was this large kind of, ice shovel that I used to throw leaves and throw. My cats had a habit of bringing in trophies every day, and I'd often use those to pick them up and toss them out into the woods. And I took that shovel with me to the squirrel, knowing what I was going to do, and I was sobbing because it was about a quarter-mile walk to where it was. I was crying the whole time because I knew my intention was going there was not to remove something that was already passed on, but to end the suffering of something that was still here. That moment, bringing that shovel down on top of that little squirrel, was one of the hardest things I ever did in my life at that time. I remember sitting there before I did, trembling, shaking, because I didn't want to take a life, but I didn't want it to suffer. It was evident that there was no chance for it to live, and it was only a matter of time until it passed on, but it was just going to be, how much time was it going to suffer? It was making noises, it was horrible. And I just remember convulsing in sobs afterwards, knowing what I was about to do was the right thing, but not wanting to do it. I did that deed that day, and I hated myself, but at the same time I had this weird sense of knowing that in my heart I'd done the right thing, that I had saved this poor little creature from suffering. That flashed back to me as I was sitting on the side of the road, parked outside of my grandfather's house, wondering if I should go back and make sure that the squirrel was in fact gone, knowing if it wasn't what I'd have to do. Thankfully, as I went back up there, it was clearly gone, and it didn't minimize at all how horrible and awful I felt about it, how guilty I felt. I don't ever want to take a life of any living creature. I'm the person that will, if there's a bug on the wall, I will go and get a glass and take it outside and set it free rather than take its life. And if a situation ever does arise where I'm smushing something on accident, you will often hear me profusely apologize to it for doing that. The reason for rambling on and sharing this message to you is this event really reminded me of just how important and precious life is. Life happens in split seconds. That much of our suffering, not physical like that poor little squirrel was doing, but our suffering here on earth, the suffering that it goes on in here, occurs because we become so obsessed about what might happen tomorrow. Or we become so obsessed about what happened yesterday that we make it our present. We make it our reality, and we allow it to taint our right now. But life happens like that. A quick aversion of the eyes to the air conditioning could mean the difference between life and death. And recognizing how fragile life is, if I could encourage you all to do one thing and learn one lesson from my horrible experience the other day, it's this. Take today by the second. Live it moment by moment. Appreciate that what you have right now is all you are guaranteed. It's all you're promised. And and you may not get anything beyond this. And so in this moment right now, give yourself permission to let go of what happened yesterday. Let go of the hurt people have visited upon you. Let go of what could happen tomorrow. And just make this moment matter. Because this moment is all we have. It's all we're guaranteed. And thus it's all that can really matter right now. I hope this message helps. I hope it connects with and resonates with you. And if you're still watching, I hope that it compels you to really take a moment, take a breath, to acknowledge just how precious and fragile your life is, and to make this next moment matter. Make it matter the most you possibly can. All right? Sending lots of love to you.